Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's show. My name is Matt Morris. We are live right now on YouTube at Matt Morris TV and on Rumble at Matt Morris TV. Folks, it is Sunday, October 19th, and ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a little bit of a late night emergency broadcast. Some news has just been pushed through the pipeline, and folks, today we have some bad news, some concerning news. I suppose you could even call it good news, depending on how you want to look at this, but it would seem as if President Trump has just, I hate to say it, potentially narrowly avoided yet another assassination attempt. It would seem as if somebody was planning to take another shot at his life. The FBI is looking into this right now, right this very moment. We have a breaking report coming out of Fox News and some on-the-ground footage and images of what went on today. It was at the at an airport in Palm Beach, Florida, and I want to go ahead and get into this and really break all of this down. Also, I think at the end of today's broadcast, we're going to do a little bit of a recap, talking about the Portland City war zone, what is going on with Antifa and ICE and DHS. Last night was absolutely insane. I want to talk about that later on in today's broadcast. But folks, today, let's get into this Donald Trump news because this is absolutely insane. Breaking news. The U.S. Secret Service has uncovered a quote. I'm going to zoom in so everybody can read this here. The U.S. Secret Service has uncovered a, quote, suspicious hunting stand with direct line of sight to where President Trump exits Air Force One at Palm Beach International Airport. Reportedly, this was set up months ago. I wonder where that's coming from. We're going to deep dive this entire situation. This reporter says they will never stop going after him. Trump is in Florida right now and actually departs from Florida tonight. He has safely landed back at Washington, D.C., but there was a very strange set of circumstances here. Prior to President Trump's return to West Palm Beach, the U.S. Secret Service discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand within sight line of Air Force One landing zone, according to FBI Director Kash Patel. No individuals were located at the scene at the moment. The FBI has since taken inventory or has taken investigatory lead, flying in resources to collect evidence from the scene and deploying our cell phone analytic capabilities. So, folks, this is a photo of the hunting stand, and I want to show you exactly where this was and why this is so concerning. President Trump is safe. He's safely back in Washington, D.C. Take a look at this. This is where the hunting stand was found across from the Palm Beach airport, surrounded by populated areas on all sides. No way was a this is not a hunting stand. Take a look at this. So this is where on the map here, I'm going to show you on Google Maps. We're going to really break all this down, but here's the screenshot we have at the moment on screen. This is the hunting stand on the left. It was located in these bushes, this little hedge, little treed area by this, looks like an office park or industrial area just south of the airport. And this is where President Trump always flies in and always flies out on Air Force One. Now, folks, this is what I want to show you. We're looking at the same spot here. This is where President Trump always lands, takes off, departs, gets on board, steps off board of Air Force One. This right here is where the hunting stand was found. Okay, so if I had to give you a rough guess, this is probably 800 or 1,000 feet, probably about 1,000 feet from the hunting stand over to Air Force One. Now, real quick, this is not, nobody lives here. This is an industrial park. This is the actually U.S. Army Reserve building. It's a transportation company. They've actually, it looks like military vehicles parked out back, a lot of semi trucks. This is not somebody's backyard. And it gets even crazier when you zoom out. Look at where we are. Folks, is this where somebody would be hunting? Guys, we are right in the middle of Palm Springs. Nobody is hunting. And of course, right here, guess what? This is the President Trump golf course. It's called the Trump International Golf Course, just about 400 feet, maybe 500 feet south of where the hunting stand was. And by the way, it was this very golf course, I believe, a couple months ago, I think actually right about here on the road. it was right here. There was that pro-Ukrainian nut job, this domestic terror who was perched up in this tree line right here, trying to take a shot at President Trump a couple months ago as Trump was working his way down the fairway. It was right there, if you think back to that. And so it's really close. You zoom out, you go all the way up over here. Now we're over here. This is Air Force One. That's where that parks. Nobody is hunting right here. This is not a hunting area. This is as dense of an urban zone. Yeah, Ruth was his name. I appreciate that. Now he's been convicted. Folks, this is not a hunting perch. Nobody is out here hunting elk or duck hunting right here. Whatever the explanation might be, hunting stand. And so this is what it looks like. So the FBI has confirmed this is not a bird's nest. This is a man-made contraption up here in the tree. And the U.S. Secret Service, thank God, was able to, they spotted this, they saw this, they tore it down. There's a video of them tearing this down. Thank God the Secret Service got involved, but there's no way anybody is legitimately hunting right here. Now, we're going to keep on going through this. Just moments ago, let's keep on going through how this day unfolded here. Just moments ago, President Trump quickly boarded Air Force One using the smaller staircase at the back of the plane. They've got the big staircase that comes down and a smaller staircase off the back. So they had President Trump board on the emergency staircase today because of this threat. They weren't sure exactly what it was at the time. He used the smaller staircase at Palm Beach International Airport on Sunday afternoon following heightened security measures. This came after FBI officials discovered a hunting stand positioned months ago with a direct line of sight to the area where the president typically exits the aircraft. Now, we can only assume the report here is saying that this thing has been here for months. Perhaps they have some security footage, like they were able to check security footage from April, pointed over the field. The stand was there. Okay, so it must have been there 6 months, right? We don't know who put it up. Who put it up? I don't think we know that at the moment, but I believe them when they say, okay, it's been there for a couple months. This is FBI Director Kash Patel. He said the U.S. Secret Service spotted a suspicious stand near the Air Force One zone in Palm Beach. The FBI is currently investigating. And then he directs over to the Fox News article. I want to read this with you folks. FBI is investigating a hunting stand with sight line to Trump's Air Force One exit area at Palm Beach Airport. Secret Service agents found a suspicious elevated stand during advanced security preparations before Trump's arrival. Also, once again, I just want to show you what that line of sight looks like. This is a clear shot. Let's look on Google Maps. This is I mean, you couldn't line this up better. This is a dead shot right over the freeway, across the tarmac, boom. And actually, look at this on Google Maps. What do you see? Incidentally, you see President Trump's airplane. This photo was taken at some point in 2025. So they've got President Trump's airplane parked right there on Google Maps. This is obviously an Air Force One, but this is where Air Force One lifts off and touches down. Let's keep reading through this article. Exclusive, the U.S. Secret Service uncovered a suspicious hunting stand with a direct line of sight to where President Trump exits Air Force One at the Palm Beach International Airport. Agents found the stand on Thursday, and the FBI is now leading an investigation into the discovery. FBI Director Kash Patel said the hunting stand has not yet been connected to any individual. We got to know who put this thing up. That's what I think. Prior to President Trump's return to West Palm Beach, USS, that's the U.S. Secret Service, discovered what appeared to be an elevated hunting stand within sightline of Air Force One landing zone, Patel told Fox News Digital. No individuals were located at the scene. The FBI has since taken the investigatory lead, flying in resources to collect all evidence from the scene and deploying our cell phone analytics capabilities. So what they can do, little technology fact, they can ping the signals coming out of all the cell towers in the area, and they can figure out actually if whoever put this thing up, if they had a cell phone on them, they can figure out whose cell phone it was. So if somebody was walking around back here, they put this sniper's perch or hunting perch up here, they can figure out who it was based off the cell phone pings. So that's what they're looking into right now. The U.S. Secret Service Chief of Communications Anthony Guglielmi also confirmed that the organization is working closely with the FBI as well as law enforcement at Palm Beach County. Guglielmi, he said, agents discovered the hunting stand during their advanced security preparations prior to Trump's arrival at Palm Beach. Thank God that they did. There was no impact to any movements and no individuals were present or involved at the location. While we are not able to provide details about the specific items or their intent, this incident underscores the importance of our layered security measures. The investigation comes weeks after Ryan Ruth was found guilty of attempting to assassinate President Trump on the Palm Beach golf course from a similar sniper's nest he set up in the bushes along the fence line. If you remember, this is where today's sniper's nest is, a clear shot from where Air Force One lands. By the way, the distance of this shot would be about 1,000 feet, 800 feet, maybe 1,000 feet. Okay, from here to there. Now, Ryan Ruth, he planned on taking his shot against President Trump right down here, less than a mile away. If I remember properly, Ruth was positioned in this tree line right here. He was waiting for President Trump to come down the fairway, the greenway here, and take a shot. Secret Service intercepted that before. And so at the moment, we don't know who put this this sniper's perch up. I'll tell you what, though. Listen, once again, this is an industrial park. This is not exactly in anyone's backyard. You are not having. I would be shocked if you're having kids play around behind the U.S. Army Reserve military. It looks like they have U.S. Army military vehicles parked in the lot here. This is a forensic sciences and technology building. This is just your run-of-the-mill industrial park. You have semi-trucks parked back here. And so I just don't exactly buy that this is some kid's backyard fort. The closest neighborhood down here is probably about 600 feet to the southeast. You got to go past the park down the road. Then you have some houses down here. This is not in anybody's backyard. This is kind of out here, and it's, like I said, it's positioned very curiously. It's a straight shot, very curiously, right across. It's a clean shot from President Trump's Air Force One landing spot. And so that is the concern today. Ryan Ruth, who a couple weeks ago was charged on 5 federal criminal counts, including attempting to assassinate a major presidential candidate, assaulting a federal officer, and multiple firearms offenses. So this is President Trump's last attempt at assassin, folks. As far as I'm concerned, this is just yet another instance of attempted left-wing violence. We saw Charlie Kirk get assassinated about a month ago, about 5 weeks ago, under sort of similar circumstances, long-range shot, premeditated seems to be. We're talking about Ryan Ruth, who tried to do the same thing against President Trump about a year ago. And of course, at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally, President Trump did get shot in the ear. This comes at a time when left-wing violence is just absolutely skyrocketing across the country. And in fact, today, what I want to do is talk about some of that violence. Yesterday afternoon, folks, this really wraps up the story about this attempted. I am calling this an attempted assassination. Why would somebody put up a sniper's perch right here? Okay, obviously this is something nefarious going on. Now, luckily, the Secret Service was able to intercept this, but like I said, this comes at a time of left-wing violence absolutely skyrocketing. Now, what I want to do is talk about what happened yesterday evening, yesterday afternoon, outside of the Portland City ICE facility. Regrettably, I was not here with you guys. I was taking care of some real-life things last night, but last night, following the No Kings protests, Portland went absolutely berserk. It was crazy. There was tear gas getting fired out. There were tons of arrests being made. Leftists were doing the walk of shame after being arrested by federal agents outside of the Portland ICE facility. I want to play this clip for you. Take a look at this.
You
You can see the tear gas has been fired out. This individual's being arrested. Portland was insane last night. We've got a lot of footage like this we're going to play through here today, folks. There's one arrest right there. And you know what? Thank God. It's about time that these people get arrested. That is a... I mean, you can tell. This is the most insane that we have seen this. You have your Antifa agitators. They're wearing tear gas or gas masks. Much to no one's surprise. They were ready for a conflict yesterday. And yesterday, because of this No Kings dynamic, there was an extra presence of CBP, ICE, and DHS agents at the Portland ICE facility. This is what that looks like right here. Finally, we're seeing some arrests take place. Now, I'll tell you folks something real quick. I was actually planning on doing some Portland ICE facility coverage tonight, because we have seen Sunday evening get pretty crazy over the last couple weeks. As far as I can tell... As far as I can tell, we actually don't have any live broadcasts coming out of downtown Portland right now. Maybe we will later tonight, but at the moment, I want to do a recap of just how insane it was in Portland last night following the day of peaceful No Kings protests. Here we have another one. Chaos erupted. This is Portland last night. Look at that. They're firing these pepper balls out. There's that arrest getting made. And you have these other Antifa agitators trying to rush in and play coverage and help these delinquents get free. Tear gas is going out. I think what we saw last night is probably some of the most mayhem that we have had out here in the last 4 or 5 weeks, at least. I mean, it looks like a damn war zone. These Antifa members, I mean, they came prepared. They did. They know what they're doing. And so we just have video. I just want to go through all of those. We have video after video. Yesterday it was insane. A leftist just decided to shove a federal agent in front of the ICE facility yesterday afternoon. This is what happened. And there it is. Yep, you're under arrest. You just assaulted a federal officer. Man, I have to tell you what, these ICE agents up on the rooftop of this ICE facility, they are still being so restrained and so gentle. All of these little blemishes on the ground here, this is where the pepper balls are firing out. They are not, let's put it this way, the ICE agents up on that rooftop firing off these pepper balls, they are not missing on purpose. They are trying to send a warning. They are actually doing everything they can to not shoot these Antifa domestic terrorists. They are actively trying to not shoot them. They're still trying to play safe. Hey, warning shot, warning shot, warning shot, warning shot. They are deliberately not trying to shoot them. They're still playing softball with these Antifa terrorists. And the tear gas is going out. And, you know, I'll tell you what, if you're a member of Antifa out here and you come out to these prepared with a gas mask, you're asking for trouble. You know exactly what you're doing up there. That's the beanbag gun, that orange shotgun. I think that's a beanbag gun. And now I'll tell you what, they do have ICE agents up here with live rounds. You can tell that is a real gun. Those are real bullets in there. So if something does get absolutely crazy, God forbid, thank God that has not happened yet. I hope it never happens. They're ready for it. I pray that does not ever happen though. We've got the gentleman down on the ground.
Are the terrorists? You know that? You guys are the terrorists. That's how you're behaving.
That's a female agent, looks like.
Federal taxpayers paying for federal property. This is my fucking property.
He said the taxpayers pay for federal property. This is his property. Do you think he would use that same argument for what went down on January 6th? Do you think this liberal out here, do you think this Portland City liberal would say, well, technically January 6th wasn't an insurrection because those insurrectionists, they pay federal tax and they went into the federal building. So it's, hey, technically they own the building. Yeah, I don't think he would use that same argument. Do you think? I don't think so. Just a complete mayhem down here. Absolutely unhinged. But you know what? We've got clips from yesterday evening I want to share with you folks after it gets dark. For the first time in about a week and a half, the feds last night, they broke out the Black Hawk helicopters. They were concerned about laser attacks. Antifa had been coordinating and planning some domestic terror laser attacks to, in a coordinated way, shine lasers at helicopters flying overhead to try to blast them out of the sky, to try to blind the pilot or mess up the sensors. DHS, they said, listen, bring in the helicopters. Last night they needed them. So we saw them come out last night. There's your DHS Black Hawk up there. What does that sign say right there? Latina baddies lives matter. What's a baddie? I don't know. F ICE. Yeah. Latina baddie lives matter. And you can see here, at the end of this clip, they are really pushed up. There's a lot of them pushed up aggressively up in front of this ICE building, and the DHS helicopter is keeping tabs up above. And this really is, folks, once it gets dark here, this is a 3.5-minute clip. I'm going to play this one for you guys. Listen. This is where this just devolves into an all-out war zone. Unc Matt, it means sexy Latinas. Listen, I just like white women. I'm a humble white woman enjoyer. I'm into white women. I'm not really into the rest. You guys can have the Latina baddies, whatever you call them. I got a white woman. That's fine. That's what I like. That's all I've ever been into. You can have all the Latina baddies. That's for you guys if that's what you're into. That's fine. No, listen, no skin off my back. Here's what I say. Listen, I don't care if you are a Latina baddie. Doesn't matter to me. If you are here illegally, you got to get out of the country. Okay, you're getting deported. I don't care. This is where it breaks into a war zone. This is where it gets nuts last night. This is last night. Good grief. They're shining the strobe light to try to disperse the crowd. They're firing off the tear gas. I heard it was around this point last night that Honey Badger Mom was on the ground here And she got surrounded. She got swarmed by Antifa domestic terrorists. She actually fled the scene because she was getting swarmed by some of these people. Thank God she's okay. You see this? Antifa, they've started bringing cones, like traffic cones, and they put them on top of the tear gas canisters. These people, listen, this is all prepared. It's premeditated. It's coordinated. They know what they're doing. Oh, that right there, that is a big no-no. See that? One of these Antifa freaks, they pick up the tear gas and they throw it back at the ICE facility. Whoever just did that, you are dunzo. Big mistake. You know they're trying to get that guy. They're throwing stuff back at him. Tossing out the tear gas. Folks, listen, I can't help but say this. Do you remember this was about 2 weeks ago when the governor of Oregon, we had the Oregon State senators, the mayor of Portland come out. They were uploading these cutesy TikTok videos saying, "Hey everybody, I'm the lesbian governor of Oregon. My name is Tina Kotek. It's not a war zone. Everything is all good down here in Portland, Oregon. It's peaceful and everybody's happy. See, there's no problem at all. President Trump is an idiot. Everybody's at peace." Yeah? Really? Really? Is that right? Okay. Okay. A lot of these people down here just have, they don't have the best critical thinking skills. They're all sitting down here screaming and yelling, ICE is abusing us, ICE is throwing tear gas canisters at us, they're shooting us with pepper balls, how could ICE do this? Listen, I myself, let's talk about me for a second. I don't want to have tear gas thrown in my face. Nobody does. I don't want to get shot in the chest or the arm by a pepper ball. I don't want that. Nobody does. So, you know what I don't do? I don't go around and instigate trouble outside the ICE facility. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get harassed by ICE or whatever. So I just avoid the ICE facility. I'm not down here protesting 7 days a week outside the ICE facility as a bunch of federal immigration officers are engaging in lawful behavior as they are doing the job that we all voted for them to do. I think that's pretty simple, you know? You're there. They're down here. Well, this is just insane. This is nuts. So like I said, this is the most insane we have seen this entire dynamic, at least in the last 4 or 5 weeks. In recent history, this is the craziest it's been. I mean, folks, listen, this is Antifa, full-on black bloc. You might notice that pretty much they dropped all their cutesy Halloween costumes. It's the very same people. They've been wearing inflatable frogs, inflatable unicorns, whatever, saying, hey, look, I'm a cutesy, we're not doing anything bad. Well, last night, they showed up in full force. They've got the helmets. They've got the shields. They've got masks. They've got gas masks. They came with their own gas canisters they're throwing back at them. They dropped the whole cutesy good boy act last night. They came down here fully prepared, ready to cause mayhem. Looks pretty militant to me, yeah. And that is a hell of a lot of people down there. And so that was last night. This is the first time I've seen ICE break out the strobe light. You could tell, listen, ICE they were not happy about this. Now, let's talk about the type of rhetoric that leads to some of this behavior, whether it be this potential attempted assassination attempt on President Trump earlier today. We had the sniper's perch, or all these domestic terrorists down here on the streets of Portland. I want to show you the type of rhetoric that leads to this behavior time and time again. This happened yesterday afternoon during the No Kings protests themselves. Take a look at what this official No Kings speaker had to say in front of the audience, hundreds or thousands of people. Take a look at this.
You gotta grab a gun.
Turn up the audio. I want you guys to hear this. I'm going to turn this up. There we go.
You gotta grab a gun. We gotta turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents gotta get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out.
This person needs to be arrested. Do we agree? This person at a No Kings protest, No Kings rally, whatever you want to call it, is directly and explicitly inciting violence, directing violence, calling for violence against ICE officers, federal immigration officers. He says this administration, who's that? Trump, everybody, Kristi Noem, all of them, JD Vance. I'm going to play it again. Listen to this.
You got to grab a gun. We got to turn around the guns on this fascist system. These ICE agents got to get shot and wiped out. The state machinery, that's a full display right there, has to get wiped out. You got to...
Yeah, this individual must be identified and arrested. This individual is can we call him a domestic terrorist? I think it's fair. He's calling for the assassination of federal officers of President Trump, various members in Trump's administration. He's saying, pick up a gun, go kill them now. Pick up a gun, they need to be shot now. That is what he is saying. This is insane. This is absurd. This is just absurd. This is the current state of the Democrat Party. And we've seen this time and time again where they are calling for violence. They are calling for violence. They are actually carrying out acts of violence. They are killing people, innocent people. They're attempting to assassinate politicians, President Trump. They assassinated Charlie Kirk about 5 weeks ago. Terrible. And then after they do that, they are celebrating violence. They're going on social media saying, woo, we killed him. All right, who are we going to kill next? We want more violence. No peace can be made with these people. Now, there's a clip I wanted to show you folks. This is President Trump, actually earlier today, a couple hours ago. President Trump is talking about the Insurrection Act. You know me. I wish President Trump would stop talking about it. I wish he would just do it. Stop talking about it, do it. But nonetheless, President Trump was talking about the Insurrection Act earlier today. So take a look at this.
And don't forget, and I haven't used it, but don't forget, I can use the Insurrection Act. 50% of the presidents almost have used that. And that's unquestioned power. I choose not to. I'd rather do this. But I'm met constantly by fake politicians that think that, it's not like a part of the radical left movement to have safety. These cities have to be safe. Our cities that are Democrat run, exclusively just about, are unsafe cities.
Like I said, it's great. It's great we're talking about it. At this point, we need to do it, though. I think it's time to go ahead and cross that Rubicon, so to speak. It's time for a Julius Caesar moment for those of you that are historically literate. I mean, folks, here's the deal. We've got sanctuary state after sanctuary state, sanctuary city after sanctuary city across the country that is operating in open and direct defiance of the federal government, our federal immigration law, the democratic will of the people, the president of the United States of America. We have all time and time again said we do not want taxpayer money to be funneled off to support illegal aliens. We do not want illegal aliens here in the first place. We do want these people to be deported. And still, they are operating, these sanctuary cities and sanctuary states are operating in direct and open defiance. Regardless, they have said, yeah, I understand that we have federal immigration law, but we're just not going to comply with that. We're just not going to do that. In fact, we're going to take both federal and state level tax money, and we're going to give it to illegal aliens. We're going to aid and abet illegal alien invaders that have invaded this country illegally in direct defiance of the American people, the president, the federal government. And on top of that, we are going to aid and abet not just illegal aliens, but far left radical domestic terrorists like Antifa. Okay, the Portland City Police, the Chicago City Police, they have stand-down orders. They're being told and instructed. Down in California, same. Up in Washington State, same. The police are being told not to tango with Antifa. Let them be. Do not arrest illegal aliens. Do not work with ICE. Don't do it. Yeah, listen. That is an insurrection. This is an insurrection. Yes, it is. Terminologically, it is. There's no way to argue against it. It is. These states have decided that they just don't want to abide by federal immigration law and the democratic will of the American people. President, all of it. Shut it down. So this is what I would do. Okay, I think President Trump should pull every single dollar, every single federal taxpayer dollar from these states. Any single thing that these states get from the federal government, whether it be housing assistance or whatever, all of it. Okay? Pull it. If you are a sanctuary state, or if you are a state that even has a sanctuary city in your state, that is your obligation to shut it down. And if you don't, you are in defiance of this government, of the American people, of the republic for which it stands. We're pulling every single dollar. We're shutting you down. And beyond that, if that's not enough, if that does not solve the problem still, then Insurrection Act, and we are flooding into the cities. We're cracking down on crime, and we are really kicking indoors and carrying out mass deportations. That's what I would do. And still, I would say if these radical progressive politicians in these states are still operating in defiance in the face of all of that, then they need to be arrested and tried for sedition as well. They are seditionists. That's my opinion. So President Trump, yes, activate the Insurrection Act, pull the money, shut it down, hold these people accountable. We cannot have a republic. We cannot have the union if these states are acting this way. I hate to say it, and really, I hope it does not ever come to this. Seriously, this is a similar set of circumstances that led to the Civil War. You had a bunch of states in the South. They said, well, listen, we know the U.S. federal government said to do one thing. We know we had an election. We're just not going to do it. There was federal immigration law that was passed, anti-slave law, and, we're just not going to comply with that. We're going to secede, and there's nothing you can do about it, okay? We have a similar dynamic today. These sanctuary states and sanctuary cities, who do they think they are? Listen, they've got to play by the rules here. That's kind of the agreement of the union that we have. That's the agreement of the republic that we have. Listen, you got to play by the rules that we agree at a federal level. And if you're not, then it's going to be a problem. So this is what I'm saying. Pull the funding, activate the Insurrection Act. We need to shut this stuff down. It is astounding that these sanctuary states have gotten so brazen. These sanctuary cities have gotten so brazen. They think they can do this. We got to put these people back in their place. Okay? That's how I feel. That's my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a wrap up for today's show. Okay? President Trump seems to have survived narrowly some type of planned, pre-orchestrated assassination attempt. Thank God the FBI and the Secret Service was able to intercept this and shut it down before a shot was even fired. You could tell, though, it would have been a direct shot. Thank God. Thank God some of these freaks on the streets of Portland are being arrested, on the streets of Chicago are being arrested. Thank God. We're making a stand. I want to see more. I want to see more. And you know what? President Trump is now explicitly talking about the Insurrection Act. I hope he does it. I hope he does it. Folks, that's going to be a wrap for today's show. We do have a super chat here. This is from Bill Burchett. He says, I agree. Stop talking about it and do it. That is what we voted for. I agree. I'm with you. There was a $10 super chat before that dropped off. I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate that. That one just dropped off. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It means a lot. All the support, everybody tuning in and supporting and subscribing and liking. Make sure to like, subscribe, and everything, folks. Going forward, my schedule, I am back on a normal schedule. We are back here 7 days a week, full time. It's been kind of a slow week for me. Real life stuff has been going on. We are back tomorrow, full steam ahead. Videos, daily shows, everything. We're back, folks. So don't worry about that. Everybody on Rumble, thank you very much. Make sure to like and subscribe. Jonesy gifted a 1 Rumble Premium. Thank you very much. Everybody, I'm going to sign off. I have been your host, Matt Morris. Listen, we need to keep praying for President Trump's success and his safety. We all know he needs it. And everybody, just let's all try to stay safe and stay optimistic. So I'll see you folks tomorrow morning. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Everybody have a great night, and I'll see you folks tomorrow. Thank you all, seriously. And